Ba-dum-bum-ba-bum. Man, we should really get some theme music so that people want to like da 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 like bam. Oh, hey. Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday. Ignore that. We'll have professional music next time. Probably not. I'm probably just going to do it with like a keyboard, like a Casio keyboard from 1985.
Oh, please.
I'm Matt Ray, and joined with me is Neil Tardy, although he's always on time.
Yeah, never late, always tardy.
Yes.
There's your dad joke.
Yeah, you're welcome. He's also never heard a joke about his name.
Never, actually.
So yeah, thanks for coming to Tech Talk Tuesday, where we're going to talk about all the tech news for the last week. And I'm lying. There's no way we're going to cover all the news. But what we do is we go find a few stories that we're very interested in. We think that you might be as well. And we convince a little bit about that. So, here we are. And I think it goes pretty well. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
I'm ready. Let's do it. So first up, we have Amazon Prime catching up with literally the rest of the world by finally offering user profiles. This is one of those things that completely baffled me for a long time, and I thought maybe I was just not finding a setting in my Roku, or there had to be something that I because I was a Prime member too early. Maybe I didn't turn the setting on that, but they just haven't had user profiles. So you were kind of stuck that. If somebody really wanted to watch a bunch of Baby Shark videos, you were suddenly going to be filled with Baby Shark suggestions every time you logged in. And that has been annoying. But good news, that along with some parental controls launched today. So congratulations to Jeff Bezos for catching up with the rest of the world 5 or 6 years too late. Is this something that's annoyed you?
Yes, it actually is, because on our Fire Sticks, we actually share that account with my wife's parents, and
because you guys live together.
Yeah. No. But yeah, so I constantly am like, why is this showing up? Why do I care about this? Oh, I don't. My mother-in-law does. So yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about this. I highly doubt that this will solve any of my problems. Yeah. Because I highly doubt that they will actually create accounts. But yeah, it's actually kind of insane that one of the largest tech companies doesn't actually or didn't have user profiles on video service, especially because that's one of the things that Netflix did right away.
Yeah.
So it's what are you guys doing?
Bizarre, but I'm happy because this way some of my wife's ratchet TV, such as Teen Mom and one of the Sister Wives and things like that, can disappear off of my list, and peace can be restored to the universe, while she is not also attacked when she logs in by sci-fi and probably fantasy that I watch. So there's that.
There you go. Well, continuing on the nerd train, finally, we get to see Microsoft unveil a bunch of their games for the new Xbox generation. They announced the date, which is July 23rd, 9 a.m. Pacific time, which I find an extremely weird time, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is noon our time. But yeah, so games that will be showcased definitely include Halo Infinite, which you and I are extremely hyped for and have been for a long time. We can't wait for Halo to come back. So yes, but Microsoft has also acquired over 15 different game studios, and more recently has actually snagged a placeholder for a fan favorite series of Fable, which I'm actually pretty excited about as well because I played a lot of Fable back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's some definitely hopping on that hype train as well. But there will also be like their classic game showcases more than likely, such as like Forza and Gears of War, which are just kind of staples on their platform. I just really hope that we actually get to see some gameplay from some of these on the new generation's tech. That way we can actually see like what's going to be capable. And is it really going to be like that large of a jump from the previous generation, which I think it will be based off of what we've seen from like what the actual box specs are going to be. But yeah, I really just hope that we don't just end up with some like cinematic trailers and there's like, yay.
Yeah. Will we find out more about the actual next gen console itself?
So they've already kind of released those things, and I can track those down for you and everyone else. But something that has been rumored is that there is like a lower tier of the consoles. So in some documents that were leaked, there were like two different specs of like chips essentially. And so, yeah, one's like Scorpio, and I can't remember what the other one is off the top of my head, but they could be unveiling like that lower tier thing that will more than likely be a little better stomach on the price point.
Right.
But you're obviously sacrificing performance and longevity there. So we'll see, but yeah, I'm curious to see if we get any other hints to what the actual console will be, what it's like, how it's going to perform, like some of those things that that us nerds like to dig into.
Yeah, well, there's definitely some cool games, and so I mean, if nothing else, I'm definitely excited to hear more about that, and I'm just glad to hear that those are even in the works. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well. Continuing the nerd train, really anyone who's used the web has probably encountered at some point Adobe Flash. Although it came from Macromedia like way back in the day, eventually got gobbled up by Adobe. But we're actually, I mean, I'm going to say celebrating, but maybe not everybody, the celebrating the sunset of the Flash player officially coming up this December. And actually Ars Technica has a really, really good article. And that's what you're looking at here that really follows the entire lineage of kind of how it got started from really being a patchwork to carry the World Wide Web before it was able to do a lot of really cool stuff like CSS and animations like natively and in browser and all that to create a plugin that really kind of bridged that gap. And so, you know, it's easy to kind of throw stones at it now, but it was such a crucial part, I think, of getting those experiences recognized as a need, rather than just kind of like I don't know, a flash in the pan kind of thing. So it's kind of fascinating telling the story of you know, Steve Jobs and kind of his involvement in basically trying to edge them out with the new Apple devices such as the iPhone as they came out. And his basic refusal, right, to really support Flash, that ultimately probably led to it being pushed aside the way it was. So it's a long read, but I definitely think it's worth it, and it's cool to kind of get a snapshot for the history of the web. So if you have some time, I would definitely check that out.
I cannot believe that Flash is 25 years old, by the way.
Yeah, it's a little disgusting, but here's what annoys me now is the sites that haven't updated.
Oh my gosh, I know.
And you know, you go there and it's like, well, you need to install the Flash plugin. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, they're phasing that out.
Yeah, like, sorry, nope, not doing that. I can find 20 other sites that probably have your content, and I don't need to install something stupid.
It's just crazy. Like I like for a piece of software to last 25 years,
super impressive.
With a rapidly changing technology like the web and then like browsers in general.
Yes,
it's just crazy that Flash lasted as long as it did, and did the job well for a long time. Like
yeah,
I mean,
Netscape. Right? So I mean, there's a lot of browsers that have come and gone, and I mean, Yeah, it's interesting to see that the longevity there.
Yeah, and I mean, if I want to make you feel old, we'll just say that it's pretty close to how old I am.
It hurts a little bit, Neil, and I'd rather you not bring that up.
Yeah, I just like to stab you in the front, right?
Real friends.
Well, our last article today is an interesting one because the mysterious company of Magic Leap has a new chief executive in Peggy Johnson. She comes with loads of experience from both Qualcomm and more recently Microsoft. But Magic Leap has not had the best 2020, like a lot of us. But they almost went bankrupt until they got the funding that they needed to stay alive. They also had to lay off like almost everyone. So yeah, she's taking over a pretty rough situation. But they have shifted their focus, much like Microsoft with HoloLens and Google did with their glasses, to more business-related ventures. So hopefully they can find some traction there because that's kind of where the money is. But I'm still not really sure what this actually means for a company that has had over $1 billion worth of investment and nothing really to show. Like it almost feels like they've dug too deep, and they're just never going to get out of this. Like one, I don't think that you'll ever pay back your investors with the money that you've already taken in, and two, like if you've had all this money and all this time and a lot of resources to figure this stuff out and you haven't done it yet, like I don't really think a new executive, even she could be amazing, like she could be the best exec in the world, but like with the problems there, like I just don't know if it'll even matter for them.
Right. It's almost like you need really a new CTO maybe, or you need somebody that, like from an engineering standpoint, because of this. I mean, I don't know. So if I'm right, this is the company that kind of had like, we're almost like a camera system, right? And they would detect motion, right, in front of your screen. So rather than tapping on things, like one of their things was like a device or something that, like a 3D spatial device right there in front of your desktop, right?
Yeah, I think so. But like for a long time, like, and when they got like their first like really large investment, like they had like no track record, like nothing, and so people are like, oh man, there's something crazy gonna come out of them and all this stuff, and it's just like nothing has materialized that's like earth shattering. And so I think there's like, for me, every time I see something with Magic Leap, I'm always like, oh, what's that? Like, because there's always just this sense of like, man, they have to have had something and like they have to be able to get something together. But every time something else comes out, it's always more and more negative. And so I'm starting to lose hope there. But hopefully they can get something turned around and get something going, because they've had a bunch of investments that they've got to maybe pay back.
Yeah, perhaps it's just like winning a hackathon. You don't really need to show anything. You just need a solid PowerPoint.
Ooh.
That's right. I'm calling people out. I'm bitter.
Salt in the wound there, bud.
Yeah.
Well, with that is all we have for today. So thank you for joining us on this edition of Tech Talk Tuesday. If you want to read up on any of the headlines or articles that we talked about today, you can find the leaks. Wow.
You can find some leaks. I mean,
yeah, or leaks, you know. But the links will be down in the description. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future editions of Tech Talk Tuesday. And while you're at it, go ahead and give Techness a follow. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So wherever you like to consume your social media, follow us.
Yeah, do that.
And with that, we will see you next Tuesday.
Okay, but seriously, this would be such a cool point to have some music.
Da-na-na.
Maybe like that John Cena. Da, 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 da. I'm sure it's copyrighted.